right, if you would please grab out your quiz review. You're going to walk through this. Okay, so surface area and volume quiz review. A polyhedron is named by its base and its faces. A pyramid has one base that is a polygon and faces that are triangles. Prisms have two congruent parallel bases and faces that are rectangles. So we're going to analyze this figure below, and it's asking me to shade in the base or bases of my figure. Well, I see that I have one rectangle as my base, and I have four triangles as my lateral faces. So identify the figure as a prism or a pyramid, and I'm saying that this is a pyramid. And how do I know? And this is because we see one base. Okay, so name this figure. Well, I start with the base, and it's a rectangle, so I'm going to say rectangular. Oops. Rectangular pyramid. Okay, and then letter D, describe the number of faces and the number of lateral faces. Well, total faces is 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles plus one base. So total faces is 5. And my lateral faces are just my sides. And I see 4 lateral faces. Okay. Let's look at the next one, number 2. Okay, so we've got the next figure here. Shade in my bases. Well, I see 3 rectangles and then I see 2 triangles. So I know that my triangles are my bases, so I'm going to shade those in really quickly. Okay, identify the figure as a prism or a pyramid. Well, I notice that this is a prism because we see 2 bases. Okay, we'll name this figure. So I'm going to start with my base, and it's in the shape of a triangle. So triangular prism. Okay. And then letter D, describe the number of faces, so my total. And then my lateral, my sides. Well, total I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total. And then for the sides, I have 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 sides total. 3 laterals and 2 bases. All right, number 3, it's asking me to look at the nets and to imagine them being folded up together and to create a 3D solid and to use the correct first and last name for these. So if I'm looking here, I see all rectangles, and if I were to assume that those 2 are my bases, I have a rectangular prism. Okay, let's do the one below. I see 3 rectangles and I see 2 triangles. And this is a triangular prism. I see that I have 4 triangles here, so it looks like I have 3 sides, and then I have a 1 base. So this is a triangular pyramid. And then this right here looks like I have all equilateral squares. And it looks like if I were folded all up, I would get a cube. And then the very last one, I have a 1 square and 4 triangles. So it looks like I have, now this is where it gets a little funky. I say it's a rectangular pyramid. Many would say square, because it does look like a square, but do I really know that it's a square? No. So that's why I say rectangular pyramid. Okay. All right. So looking at the next part, so nets, they are 2-dimensional representations of a 3D solid. The net of a polyhedron is made up of polygons that are faces of the solid. To find the area of the net, find the area of each polygon in the net. So lateral surface area, is the sum of all the faces of the solid and not my bases. Total surface area is the sum of all the faces, including the base. Okay, and it looks like it gave us a couple of hints here. Area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. Area of a rectangle, base times height. And it says area of a squared, side squared, which means side times side, or as you guys know it as base times the height. Okay, so what three-dimensional shape can be formed by this net below? Well, it looks like, I'm going to show this in very carefully so I can still see the numbers. I have a 1 square, and then I have a triangle, so this could be a pyramid. Okay, so this is where you could say that it is a square pyramid, but I'm going to still stick with rectangular because that's what I'm used to saying. And then find the lateral area and the total surface area. So I need to write my formula, show my work, and label my units. So my first 3 steps. Okay, so lateral looks like all of my sides are triangles. So the first step is to write the formula. A is equal to 1/2 base times the height. Second step is to plug in my numbers. So 1/2, well, my base is 4.5. And my height of one triangle is 5. And then the third step is to solve it. So to go over here, 4.5 times 5, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22, 1 decimal. So I have 22.5 times 1/2. Okay. So what I need to do from here is I need to divide by 2. 2 can go into 22 11 times, or 2 can go into 2 1 time. You guys can do it all in one fell swoop. 2 can go into 5 2 times, with 1 left over. Well, my goal here is to get to 0, and 2 can go into 10, so I add a 0, bring it down. 2 can go into 10 5 times, with nothing left over. To have area is equal to 11.25 centimeters squared. Now, I'm asking, is this answered my final question? Well, my final question is one of lateral area. So I just found the area of one triangle, but it looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to take this number, multiply it by 4. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5, and 4 times 1 is 4. And I have 2 decimal places. So the final total of lateral surface area is 45 centimeters squared. Okay. Now for total surface area, well, it's all of my lateral plus the area of my base. So we need to find the area of my base, which is a square. So area is equal to base times height. Second step is to plug in. So 4.5 times 4.5. And then the third step is to solve. So 4.5 times 4.5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 more is 22. Okay, done, placeover. 4 times 5 is 20. And then 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2 more is 18. Add these up. 5, 2, 10, and 2. I have 1, 2, so I have 2 total. Well, I have 20.25 centimeters squared. Now, did this answer my question? No. I found the area of the base. I need to add that back to my lateral. So 20.25 plus 45. Now I have to line up my decimals when adding. So 5, 2, decimal, 5, and then 4 plus 2 is 6. So I should get 65.25 centimeters squared. 65.25 centimeters squared. All right. So number 5. Looks like I have a rectangular prism. Okay, it looks like I have a rectangular prism. And what I'm going to do with this rectangular prism is what I would like you guys to do is this 6.2 got put into the wrong place. If you would, please put that 6.2 centimeters here for me. Because we know that if this side right here is 9.5, when I fold it up, this side is going to be 9.5. Okay, and then with rectangles, opposite sides are equal, and then that would not be an equal triangle. Well, here are my bases. Okay, so I need to find the lateral and the total. Well, my lateral, all these big rectangles here. So I'm going to have area is equal to base times the height. Area is equal to 16 times 9.5. And then my third step is to solve. So I'm going to have 16 times 9.5. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 more, 5, 6, 7, 8. Placeholder, 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 1 is 9. Yes. Sorry, 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 more is 14. 0, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 and 1. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I have it. And then I have a 1 decimal place to get me a grand total of 152 centimeters squared. Now, it looks like I found the area of just one rectangle, so one side, and it looks like I have 4 sides, so I'm going to multiply this number by 4. 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 5 is 20, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. So for lateral area, it's 608 centimeters squared. For lateral area, it's 608 centimeters squared. Now for total, I need to find the area of my bases. So area is equal to base times the height. Area is equal to, well, it's 6.2 by 9.5, so 6.2 times 9.5. And then my third step, so 9.5 times 6.2. 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 more is 19, placeholder. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 3 more, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 57. Add these up, 0, 9, 8, 5, and it looks like I have 2 decimal places to get me 58.90. Now, I have 2 bases, so I need to multiply this by 2. 2 times 0 is 2, 2 times 9 is 18, 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1 more is 17, and then 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 more is 11, and I have 2 decimal places to get me 117 centimeters squared. Now, is that my final answer? No. My final answer needs to be adding these 2 numbers up together. So I'm actually going to go up here because I'm running out of room. So 117.8 plus 608.0. 8 and 0 is 8. Bring down the decimal. 8 and 7. Well, I know 8 and 8 is 16, so subtract 1 is 15. 1 and 1 is 2, and 6 and 1 is 7. So for total surface area, it's 725.8 centimeters squared. Okay. All right, number 6. What 3D shape can be formed by the net below? Well, it looks like I have one base, and then I have 3 lateral sides, and they are triangles. So I have a triangular pyramid. Okay, it looks like I have a triangular pyramid. All right, so find the area of my sides. Well, to find the area of a triangle is area is equal to 1/2 base times the height. Area is equal to 1/2. Well, my base is 4.4, and it looks like my height on my side is 5.3. So 5.3 times 4.4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 more is 21. 0. Well, it looks like I have the same thing. So 2, 3, 3, 2, and I have 2 decimal places. So my area is 23.32 centimeters squared. Now, how many sides do I have in total? I have 3, so I need to multiply that by 3. 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 2 is 6, and I have 2 decimal places. Did I do that right? No, I did not. I messed up. I forgot to do what? Forgot to divide it by 1/2. I was just going straight into it. So 23.32. Okay, well, I need to divide this by 2. So 23.32. Well, 2 can go into 2 one time. Bring down the 3. 2 can go into 3 one time. 13. 2 can go into 13 6 times. Bring down that. Bring down the 2. And then 2 can go into 12 6 full times. So it's now area is equal to 11.66. Now I can multiply it by 3. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 6 is 18 plus 1 more is 19. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 more is 4. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And then I have 2 decimal places. There we go. Now I'm on the right track. See, we all make mistakes at some point. All right, and then for total surface area, well, I need to find the area of my base, which is a triangle. And let's not forget the 1/2 this time. So I still have a base of 4.4. Well, my height of this triangle is 3.8 equals 1/2 times, well, let's go up here. 4.4 times 3.8. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 4 is 32. 33, 34, 35. Placeholder, 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 more is 13. 2, 9, 6, 1. Yeah, let me double check my math here because I feel like I did something wrong now that I did 4 times 8 is 32. 32 plus 3, 35. 32, 35. Okay, 3 times 4 is 12. Oh, there we go. 5, 6, 7. There we go. And then I have 2 decimal places. So I should have 16.72, not 9. Divide that by 2. 2 can go into 16, 8 full times. Bring down the 7. 2 can go into 7, not 6 times. It is 3 times to get me 6. And then 2 can go into 12, 6 times to have an area of 8.36 centimeters squared. Now, that's just the area of my base. I need to add these 2 areas up together. So I'm going to have 34.98 plus 8.36. Well, 8 plus 7 was 15, so then 8 plus 6 is 14. 9, 10 plus 3 more is 13. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then 3 plus 1 is 4. So I should have a grand total of 43.34 centimeters squared for my total surface area. All right, next one. So it looks like I have a 3-dimensional shape, and it looks like I have a rectangular prism. Okay, because what I assume is that this side is 6.9. Okay, so that way you guys can see. Okay, this side right here is 6.9. Well, I'm going to assume that this side here is 6.9. And since I don't have anything else right here, I'm going to assume that this right here is a square and that these right here are my rectangles. So I have a rectangular prism. Okay, well, let's find the area of my side. So area is equal to base times the height. Area is going to equal 7.2 times 6.9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 7 is 63, plus 1 more is 64. Yes, I still do this in 9 strip. 6 times 2 is 12. Let me get that correct this time. And then 7 times 6, I believe that is 42. Plus 1 more is 43. 8, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 4. And I have 2 decimal places. So my area of one rectangle is 49.68. Let's get this right here, feet squared. Well, how many sides do I have? How many laterals? I have 4. So times 4, 8 times 4. I just learned that, that's 32. 6 times 4 is 24, 25, 26, 27. 9 times 4 is 36. 37, 38. And then 4 times 4 is 16, 17, 18, 19. It looks like I have 2 decimal places, so I'm going to add 2 more decimal places, sorry, to have a grand total of 198.72 feet squared in lateral. I'll give you that. All right, and then to find the total, I need to find the area of my base. So area is equal to base times the height. Area is going to equal 6.9 times 6.9. Well, 9 times 9 is 81, I think. Yes. I have to double check myself. 9 times 6 is 54, and 54 plus 8 is going to get me 62. Placeholder. 6 times 9 is 54. 4, 5. 6 times 6 is 36, plus 5 more should get me 41. 1, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. 4. Now I have 2 decimal places, so 47.61. I have 2 of these. That's feet squared, by the way. I have 2 of those. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 more is 15. And 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And there's 2 decimal places. So I have 95.22 feet squared. But I know that I need to take this number and add them together. So I'm going to have 198.72 plus 95.22. 2 plus 2 is 4. 7, 8, 9. Bring down a decimal. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 1 more is 19, and then 2. So for a grand total of 293.94 feet squared in total surface area. Okay. And then for the last one on surface area, it looks like I have 2 triangles as my base. And this would give me a triangular prism. All right, so to find the area of the lateral, so it looks like my sides are rectangles. So 1 is area is equal to base times the height. Step 2 is to plug in. What looks like my base and height are 32 and 10, so 32 times 10. To give me an area, well, if you remember my 10 trick, I take my whole numbers and multiply them together to get me 32 and then add the 0, or however many zeros that I have. So 320, and this is in what, inches squared? Well, I have 3 of those, 0, 6, 9, to give my lateral a total of 960, not feet, inches squared. Okay. And then to find the total, well, now I need to find the area of my triangle. So area is equal to 1/2 base times the height. Area is equal to 1/2. Well, it looks like my base is still 10. My base is still 10. It looks like that 12 right there is going for the height. So the height is 12. And then step 3 is to solve. Well, I have another 10 strict, so 120. And then now I have to take 120 and divide it by 2. Well, I know half of 120 is 60. So 60 inches squared. And I have 2 of these triangles to give me 120 inches squared. Now that's just for my bases. I need to take these 2 numbers and add them together. So 960 plus 120. 0, 0, 6 plus 2 is 8. Well, 9 plus 1 is 10. So I have a total of 1,080 inches squared for total surface area. Oh, not done. All right. And our last little section that we have here in our review is solving for volume. All right, so the volume of a prism is found by multiplying the area of its base. So find the area of my base and then multiply it by the height of my prism. The volume of the height of the prism is the distance between its bases. So that's what this equals, is capital B is area base and H is the height of my prism. Volume of a pyramid is multiplying the area of the base times the height of the pyramid and then dividing it by 3. So 1/3 capital B times H. All right. So we divide by 3 because we found that we have a prism in a pyramid with a congruent base, and congruent, remember, equal, and heights, and the volume of a pyramid will be 1/3 the volume of a prism. Just remember that little video that we saw. It takes 3 pyramids to fill in 1 prism. All right, number 9. Okay, name this 3-dimensional figure. Well, if I'm looking at this right here, it looks like I have a rectangular prism. Okay, and I just colored in my two bases, and why is because I have two bases in the shape of a rectangle. Okay. All right, and then letter B is asking me to calculate the volume. So first step is to write my formula. Capital V is equal to V times H. Number 2 is to solve. So capital B is the area of the base. Well, let's look at the base. That is in the shape of a rectangle. So it's 1.5 times 2 times the height of my prism, which is 3. And then the third step is to solve. Well, 1.5 times 2, 2 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is 3, 1 decimal place. So I have 3 times 3, and I know that to be 9. My units are centimeters, and with volume, it is cubed because I'm multiplying 3 units together. Okay. All right, let's look at the next one. Well, in the next one, it looks like I have one rectangle, and then I have 4 triangles. So this is a rectangular pyramid. And why? It's because I see one base, shape, rectangle. Now, it also looks like it is a square because it's a 5 by 5, but like I said, I choose to just say rectangular pyramid. Okay. All right, now calculate the volume. Well, the volume formula is different with the pyramid. It is 1/3 capital V times H. So I don't need to forget to divide by 3 at the end. Well, to find the area of my base, it is in the shape of a rectangle, so it's base times height. So 5 times 5 times the height of my pyramid, which is 6. And then the third step is to solve. So 5 times 5 I know to be 25 times 6. So let's go over here, 25 times 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14, 15. To get me a grand total of 150. Well, now I need to divide this by 3. Well, 3 can go into 15 5 full times. Bring down the 0. 3 can go into 0 0 times to have a final volume of 50 inches cubed. A final volume of 50 inches cubed. All right, number 11, it says consider the following information. Name of the solid. So my name is a triangular prism. So it looks like I have 2 bases. Okay, area of my base is 16 centimeters squared. And then the height of my prism is 5. Calculate the formula. Well, for a prism, it's going to be capital V is equal to V times H. Well, it just gave me V and it just gave me H. So now I can just plug those in. So 16 times 5. And let's see, 16 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 5 is 1. 6, 7, 8. To have a volume of 80 centimeters cubed. A volume of 80 centimeters cubed. All right, and then the last 2. Number 12, name the 3D shape. Well, it looks like I have a triangular base here, and I have only one, so I have a triangular pyramid. Why? I see one base, shaped triangle. All right, so calculate the volume. Well, I'm going to go over here off to the side. So 1, V is equal to 1/3 capital V times H. Plug in my information. Well, the base is a triangle. So inside this big V, I need to find the area of it. So I know the area of a triangle is 1/2 times 9 times 12. And then multiply by the height of my pyramid, which is 10. Okay. Well, and then the third step, I'm going to start it. So 1/3. Well, go over here. 12 times 9 is 108. And then I need to divide that by 2. 2 can go into 10 5 times. 2 can go into 8 4 times. To have 54 times 10. Well, it looks like I have my tens trick again, which is 540. And then I need to divide that number by 3. 3 can go into 5 one time. 3 can go into 24 8 times. And 3 can go into 0 0 times to give me a volume of 180 centimeters cubed. Volume of 180 centimeters cubed. All right, and then the very last one, well, it looks like I have a triangle as my base, and I have 2 of them, so I have a triangular prism. Why? 2 bases. Shape. Triangle. Okay? And then I need to calculate the volume. So volume is going to equal capital B times H. Volume is going to equal, well, to find the area of a triangle, it's 1/2 base times the height. Well, I know the height, and we are not sure exactly the base, so we're going to assume that this is an equilateral triangle, which means all of my sides are 11. So my base is 11. The height is 8. And then the height of my prism is 18. So volume is going to equal, well, 11 times 8 is 88, and half of 88, 2, 4, 8, 0, 4, 8, 0 is 44. So I have 44 times 18. Okay, I need to do that down here. Now 8 times 4, that is 32. 8 times 4 is 32, 33, 34, 35. So I have 35. 0, 4 times 1 is 4. 2, 9, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. Let me make sure. Double checking myself. Yep, 792. So my volume is 792. And let's see what my units feet cubed. 792 feet cubed. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.